Good afternoon, everybody. I want to take a minute and talk to you about the inner workings of this 10-hole tin sandwich, the diatonic harmonica. I think a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about today in this video are going to apply to many different instruments out there. I just happen to play the harmonica, and most of you that follow this channel, a lot of you play harmonica, so clearly I'm going to reference the 10-hole diatonic today. I will put a link to this sheet in the video description, a place where you can just download a free copy. And what this is just the note chart for a C diatonic harmonica. It's flipped everything. It's like a mirror image here in YouTube. So, but yeah, this is a really important part of, for me, understanding this instrument that didn't click until much later in my playing. So a little bit of background is, if you don't know, I'm pretty much an all-ear player. I learned by just listening and repeating. The theoretical training or knowledge, education that I received along the way was indirect, and it was really through the examples of the ear training that I then decoded and understood why something worked by little pieces of theory. So take my advice. If you're not a theory person and you've been learning harmonica by ear, which is the best way, in my opinion, to be learning it, a little bit of this knowledge that I'll talk about today is going to go a long way. This diatonic chart that I mentioned, again, will be in the video description, comes in a lesson that I offer called Pattern Recognition, and I put a link in the video description to that lesson. It's on sale for $10. The lesson is going to take you through a lot of the examples that we do here today. So you're welcome to just watch and grab some free information. But if you're interested in what you hear, check out that lesson. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I'll be using a C harmonica. Let's just start with some really basic warm-ups. In the lesson that I offer, the first thing I have people do is play all of the repeating notes that are represented on the harmonica here. And you'll find that they're an octave apart, right? From the low C on the 1 blow to the 4 blow. And again, I know this is backwards, so it's kind of confusing. So I'll just call these out for you. And what I'm having students do, and it's the success rate, once somebody has practiced this enough and they can really get this down, what you're going to gain out of this is tremendous. So check this out. The C note is located on a C harmonica on the 1, 4, 7, and 10. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Those are all C note. And when you first begin, I recommend you try this glissando approach. And what you want to do, it's like target practice. You're just trying to aim for those C notes. So you might go, and you're sliding until you hear that C note pop up the next octave. The ultimate goal is to be able to take your lips off of the harmonica and just play and play them and land right on it without thinking. We're not looking, beginners, you notice when a beginner's learning, they try to look at the number and grab that number at the last minute. There's the 4. That doesn't help you. In real-time playing, you just need to use your ear. So the ear training here is helping you know where these notes are. It's extremely important. So here's what I recommend. In the lesson, the first exercise I give away is play all the repeating notes. The most simple ones you can target are the ones that are not located on a bend note. That means that the 1 blow, 4 blow, 7 blow, and 10 blow, on any key harmonica this will work, the notes will change. 1 draw, 4 draw, and 8 draw is a D note. I need practice on that. So you can sit there and go, and really, you can just narrow it down to like the first 2 if you want to stick with that. I can't tell you how many times I have musical ideas where I'm jumping to the next note, the next octave of the note. So you go along and you find that 2 blow, 5 blow, I'm going to fast track this. 2 blow, 5 blow, and 8 blow are the same, and you practice those. But where it gets really interesting, in my opinion, is that when you examine the 6 draws in A, we also find that the 3 draw full step bend is an A. So not only are we now practicing knowing where these notes are all located, but we have a chance to work on the technique of bending and really with the ear of referencing 6 draw, again, you can slide or take your lips off as you get better at it. And then the 6 draw bent, hey, what's up, Hank? Thanks for tuning in. The 6 draw bent is the A flat, so that takes you all the way down a step and a half. And the whole idea here is that you're getting to the point where you just know where these sounds are. You may not in the beginning know that like the half step bend on the 2 is an F sharp or on a C harmonica. I don't think like that. I don't memorize what note I'm on, like a 5 draw. I don't think of it like that, but I sure as hell know where these sounds are. So that's the goal. Step 1, get to know your instrument. Understand where these notes are. I didn't do this. No one ever sat me down and said you should sit there and practice 3 draw, 7 draw. And understand that the reference musically that you find down here, you can recreate eventually up here. There are limitations. I want to point out some things, you know. Obviously, like the 6 blow area doesn't have that sweet minor third, the B flat. Unless you're overblowing. And so here's what I want you to think about. Let me give you a pattern. Let's step away from this exercise 1. So here's what I would recommend you do. Go through and take that challenge and work these repeating notes. Then play. The whole point of this lesson that I created was not only to give you references like this for notes, but I want you to work at patterns. I think the ultimate goal is to find the musical examples like this. Putting myself on the spot because I'm doing this off the cuff here today. But let me pull up my notes here. Like here, exercise 2 is this staircase riff. It sounds like this. Whoops. Yeah. So you're playing 2 draw, 3 draw, 2 draw, 4 blow, 2 draw, 4 draw. And this pattern is really cool because you're finding this very usable little pattern that you can use in your music. So I'm just trying to give you like a little example of how I use some of these. And throughout this lesson, I'm giving you these patterns to practice. You take it up and you take it down. Maybe you've got... and then you go backwards. And so I'm not giving you all this part right here. I'm gonna switch gears. But these are the types of things that you're going to find in the pattern recognition lesson. Here's a good idea. Practice this pattern with me. If you're new to harmonica, but you're bending and you're doing some great things, but you're finding that you're not using the entire range of the instrument, which is very common, try this. And this little juke-like riff, going from 2 draw all the way to 9 blow with like 2 repeating kind of segments. Segments here is just like a juke riff, right? And I'll call that out. That's not the exact same notes that I'm playing. I want to point this out. Somebody out there is going, he's not playing the same notes. Well, the second note is this minor third. It's a half step bend. So I'm choosing not to overblow on 6. I'm not going to hit that. In real life, I use this overblow, but in this case, I want to give you a more usable cross harmonica second position pattern to engage the entire range of the harmonica. So let's play it. 2 draw, 3 draw half step bend, 4 draw, 5 blow, 6 blow. Then repeat 6 blow, 7 draw, 8 draw, 8 blow, 9 blow. So try that for a second. Practice it both ways. Now you've got a kind of like little highway, a little a road that can take you from the bottom to the top of the harmonica in cross harp. Do I always play it like that? Hell no. I mean, I'm not just playing this movement, but it's a way to get started. It's very logical to chop this pattern anywhere you want. So I went 6 blow, 7 draw, 8 draw, but I didn't complete the pattern. I just went back down to the 6 blow. I played all the notes backwards. I might have added 6 draw on the way down. So you're chopping these patterns for the sake of making musical statements. Three notes, even the little triplets up at the top, all of these are very usable movements or tiny, licks, riffs that you can bring into your playing. If you're not using the upper end and you're having issues, technical issues, lighten up on your breath, relax your tongue and your jaw, let everything relax and breathe from your gut. Those draw notes should come out just fine. A really fun one is intervals. I wish I had more intervals. I'm going to work on presenting more intervals in general, but the intervals are the distance between the note, musically speaking. So you can hear, I'm going to just play some of this so you can hear some of the examples of what I do in my own practice. All right, it gets a little wonky, a little weird on the bottom. You might have to take your time and practice the area that covers holes 2 and 3. What am I doing? Well, I told you I was playing intervals. I believe these are the thirds. And what you want to do is just follow the pattern that I give you in the exercise on this lesson that I've created. But for those that can't grab it, I did this by ear. It was an accident. No one said learn interval. I didn't know what an interval was, and I had no clue I was playing intervals. The cool thing is it didn't matter. I knew that I was playing something that felt musical, and then and more importantly, I related it back to how I'm going to apply it musically. What the hell good is the scale or all the music theory that you process if you cannot reproduce it in a musical statement? It's no good. And anybody who's a real good musician who's got their theory down would probably tell you, your ear comes first, theory comes second. All right. Just to get you started on it, 1 blow, 2 blow, 1 draw, 2 full step bend, 2 blow, 3 blow, and then try to get that half step on the 2 to 3 draw. That's 2 draw half step, and then 3 draw full step bend. And that's the hardest part. Right on. Hey, thanks for tuning in. So there's a little idea you can steal from this lesson. I'm gonna leave you with my favorite today. So I'm gonna close out on this. And so in this lesson that I keep talking about, that's in the video description, there's 9 patterns. This is something that is supplemental to your practice sessions. You bring it in and you work one of the exercises or 2 of them as often as you can. If you didn't understand the application, just the art of practicing these will eventually come out. I think you'll find the application down the road. In the lesson, I try to give you examples of how I'm applying it. So this is my favorite one. I'm sure I've given this away before, but it's so important, I think, to practice this. Harmonica players get stuck in this square box. We sit there when we start playing, draw, blow, draw, blow. Hey, how you doing? Welcome, all the way from Israel. And that kind of playing on the diatonic doesn't get you far in the world of blues. It's not very bluesy. So then you learn how to bend. And it's still sloppy and it doesn't feel right at first. until you really get some ideas flowing. Well, this exercise is going to change that. It's going to force you to get better technique and break your mold of what you're playing. So here it is. That 10 is a pain in the ass, but on the high end, you can use a lower key like an A or a G harp. So what am I doing? Thanks for tuning in. I'm playing, I sounded like an Adam Gusso moment. So what am I doing? Yes, I've watched plenty of Adam's videos. So check it out. I don't want to distract myself. I'm playing blow, bend to the half step only, and draw on 1 through 6. The lowest note on the 1 is a half step. 2 blow. We got to be careful. There's 2 half steps. 3 blow. So I'm blowing, bending a half step, and then draw clean. You do that up to 6. Then, hey, how's it going? Then when you get above there from 7, if you haven't figured this out yet, all the tone and the notes flip. So low to high, high to low becomes high to low. So low to high on the bottom by blowing and drawing. Goes high to low on top. Everything is flipped. So word of caution, when you get to 7, now we have to draw, bend a half step, and blow. So what was blow, bend, draw becomes draw, bend, blow on 7 and up. Why is this so cool and important? It teaches you, again, more about the layout of the structure of our instrument, getting to know the layout of these notes, the way they're organized. It's not a very intuitive instrument, I don't think, for most people. It's confusing as hell when you get a harmonica in your hand that you can't reproduce the same pattern up here. It's a very different experience compared to many other instruments. So one of the most important things you're going to gain by practicing this is you're not going to sound so square. You're going to have the ability to grab chromatic-like moments at will. The most common areas on the bottom are draw, bend, blow on 4 and 1, and blow, bend, draw as well for upward movements. Let me explain this. I'm often playing draw, bend, blow, and moving down. Or 4. I could go up, but I'm just saying often. Nowhere to go from 1. Can't go down. You can only go up. So blow, bend, draw, I'm usually heading up. And these become passing notes in cross harp often. And it just gets you out of this box style playing and allows you to sound more fluid, I think, on the harmonica. I don't always use this. It's just one of the tools that I possess in my playing that I'm trying to bring to the table, right? Tools come in the form of technique. Tools can come in the form also of just ideas, patterns. So the final thought, get these working. Why? Because it's going to get you good at half-step bends that you need. Why do we need half-step bends? They're all over. Draw, bend, draw. That's all on 2. All right, that's my thought today. I wanted to share some of this with you. I think it's extremely important to get a little bit of theory into your brain. Theory comes in many different shapes and sizes. It's not always super confusing gobbledygook or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes it's just some really basic information like where are my notes located? That's theory. You know that when you blow on the 6, it's the same note now as the 2 draw and the 9 blow. The 5 draw is the same as what? The 2 draw full step bend. You can test that theory because you can listen to it and you can see, hey, that's right. So all of a sudden you think of an idea and you know right away where that is without having to guess or test any further theories because you knew 2 draw is the same as 6 blow. 2 draw full step bend we said is 5 draw. And 4 draw is the same as 1 draw. So now you've got a 3-octave approach to reproducing, or a better chance at reproducing, your musical ideas. Hope this helps some of you guys out there. Right on. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. I hope to come back at you with some good stuff soon. If you dig this, check out pattern recognition. It's in the, tell you what I'm going to do. The lesson is a download link in the video description. It's a $10 download. You get a PDF file that's like 5 pages, and then you get all of the audio files that go along with the exercises. I play them out for you, and I talk about them. It's pretty thorough. I think it's the best thing I've ever come up with, honestly, in the last 11, 12 years of creating content and instruction. I think this hits on the mark for people who are not inclined to think in the realm of theory like me, but that need a little bit to help them understand what they're doing. So what I'll do is this. I'll also put a free link. It's for the, like, I know some people just, they don't have the budget, and I get it. So I will give you some of the handouts. I'll give you like this, and I'll give you the 12 position chart, just some tools that you can get started practicing on your own. And then, of course, if you want to download it, check it out. Any questions? I don't think I missed much. You guys were just saying hello in the chat. So I'll catch you soon. Have a great afternoon, everybody.